All right, y'all, I am back with another video, and today we are doing a review, and it is on the Parkoo permanent markers. So word around the street is that these actually are alcohol based. So I have been wanting to give these markers a try, and it is so crazy because Parkoo actually reached out to me and sent these to me. So I am so excited. So let's get into it. So these markers are about, I want to say, between 10 or 11 bucks on Amazon. And that is another reason why I wanted to try them out so badly. And also they give you, to me, they look like Sharpies, as you can see here. I mean, even the base of them and everything is just shaped the same. I think the only difference is the design of the tops. And I think at the bottom of the markers, they're a little different. The bullet nib, the Parkoo is a bit sharper than the Sharpie. And yeah, the only thing I don't like is that these tops don't stay on. Like, really? I did not expect that at all, because I was just like, okay, they work like Sharpies, and you just wouldn't think that the top wouldn't stay on the bottom of them, but they do not. So I would say that is probably one thing that could be a con, because I like to be able to put my top on the bottom of my markers. It's just to keep up with it, but you would think that they would fit, but they don't. So I did decide that I would actually swatch all 36 markers out in this video. After a while, I'm very sometimey with swatching, y'all. I really am. It depends on the markers and how excited I am about them. But since this was only 36 colors, I decided that I would swatch all of them out for you guys. And I will let you know that most of these, some of them, it's a 50-50. Some of them matched the tops and some of them didn't. And I was not that surprised about that, only because these are only $11 markers. So there isn't that much that you can really expect out of them. I'll say that. As you'll see in the video, as I get closer to the end of my swatching, I swatched my Sharpie that was actually on the very end, and I did not mean to do that. So please excuse that one that you'll see that's scratched out. But in my opinion, all of the markers were very vibrant. They had, a nice range of colors. There are no actual skin tone colors, and as I said, that is why you can really compare them to Sharpies, because Sharpies also don't have like skin tone markers as well. So I mean, and again, like, this is just an inexpensive set of markers, so you can't expect to have the grind, oh, it's full of skin tones and this and that, like, it's $11, y'all. But I do love the colors. I feel like they're vibrant. I feel like you get a nice range of blues, greens, reds and pinks, and a few browns in there. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. I can never get enough of looking at the front of my sketchbook, y'all. My stickers are just so cute. Anyway, so I am going to, right now, I'm actually giving you like a little preview of my other pages in here before our sketchbook tour. But I wanted to share with you a sketch that I did already. Of course, you guys know that I went ahead and swatched and played with these markers before this video. And I created this warrior, and she has no name. I have been thinking of a name for her because I actually love her. She's my first warrior girl that I've actually drawn and created. And then I created her an enemy on the other side. I was really, I don't know. I was getting a lot of inspiration from like Brave and Mulan. And I guess I just mixed it all up with Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I was jumping around watching TV That's really what it was. And came up with her and then this creature that she's fighting. I wanted to do these kind of characters because, again, Parkoo doesn't have skin tones, and so in my opinion, it just makes you more creative. It makes you think outside the box than just drawing a pretty girl. And I love what I came up with. I just feel like she just came out so cute. I love I don't know. I just was very proud of myself. Like, and I love the skin tone that I gave her. And I can really let you guys know that these were actually very easy to blend with, in my opinion. I really did not have a hard time until I got to which you'll see later in the video, when I got to the hair that was on my creature. But with my warrior princess here, or girl, all of my shading was very, very easy. When I tell you I love the shading in her face, I loved it. It just was blending so nicely, and it just was, I didn't have to like try to work it, or feel like I was having to really stress it and really trying to blend, blend, blend. Like, I didn't really have to do that. And that is what I definitely loved about these markers. So if you're someone who's probably still in high school or someone that's just starting out, these markers are only 10, 11 bucks, So this is something you can pull out your allowance. This is something you can pull out of your, your money from after school, working after school, or, even as an adult, and you're just starting out. These markers are good. They're really good. And they're something that I would definitely recommend if $40 is too much, because a hoo-hoo usually ranges around like 34, 40 bucks. So if that's too expensive, these are it, because you can still blend with these. And it also, I don't know, it's like markers that you can use to practice with blending. It's the intro, the beginner's guide to blending. These are the markers for that. I did feel like, what was funny is I felt like I was using Sharpies because of how sharp the bullet nib is. And so I felt like I was using Sharpies, but obviously I'm not. And I sort of like that. I did like the tip of the marker because it makes it easier to just get into, smaller spots on your drawing. And so I enjoyed them, and I can definitely see myself using these again, because these blended just like, regular alcohol markers. I'm sure that if there were more colors, that, you could really do, just so much more. And actually, Parkoo has released their own alcohol markers, not the permanent ones, the actual alcohol markers. And I know I definitely want to give those a try as well. You guys know how I feel about an alcohol marker. But they do have those as well. And I mean, why not give those a try too? I mean, these right here, I definitely approve of these. So I feel like I probably would really love their alcohol markers as well. So we'll get into the drawing a bit more. As you guys can see, the color palette that I went to, which you can tell I was just in this medieval vibe. And the colors are a bit cliche. I felt a little, just a bit cliche. The greens, the royal purples, and blues. But I really loved how she came out. I really love how I had to just really pull from my imagination to really bring her all together. And I won't lie now, the page that's prior to this, where I created her, I really loved her in that one, because you can more so get into like her eyes and her face and everything. Oh my God, like I just really loved how she came out. Like I really did, y'all. I was very proud. But anyway, here I'm just adding a bit of shading to the back leg, and just trying to, I guess, just get as much, make it where I can add as much shading as I can. Now, I will let you know that the shading is a bit restrictive with these markers because you have to just sort of work with maybe like a lighter, whatever color you're using, the lighter and the darker, and just work with that. And I don't know, just make it work. And that's sort of what I was doing. So on to our female enemy here. All I knew when I created her was that I wanted her to have sort of like a fungus on her skin. I didn't want her to be just overly like pretty. I wanted her to be cute, but I also wanted to just add like this, I don't know, disgusting type vibe to her as well. So I decided to give her like a fungus that was on her skin, because I don't know. I'm not that good at drawing enemies, or villains, I should say, instead of enemies, but her villain. But I loved how she came out. The only thing I will say is that as it got to the hair, first of all, there's so much hair. And I was not thinking about that. I was not thinking about how much hair I drew on her. I knew when I was drawing her, I wanted her hair to be red. Like I wanted it to be this fiery red hair that would just be, just such a big opposite from her skin. I knew that. But you know what? I wasn't thinking, listen, sis, you don't know how to do digital art where you can just pop that color right into into her hair. No, we're using markers. This is paper, and you have to literally color in all of this hair. So for you guys, I did a treat, and I edited out half the time it took for me to sit and color all of this hair. Yes, I decided to edit it out. It was so much red. And what I messed up on was I should have broke it down into sections and actually sort of blended with it as I was going, and I did not do that. And so I feel like her hair is not as blended as I really wanted it to be, and I was really getting to that feeling you get when you're sort of tired of drawing. You just sort of get out of it a little bit at times when you just sort of drawn a little too much. And that's where I got at the end of this, where I was just like, oh God, I'm so tired of coloring red. And then when I tried to go back and sort of add a little bit of a darker red, it was just not working. And so I was like, that's how I started feeling sort of to the end. Even though I loved how she turned out, her hair just could have turned out way better. If I had just broken it down, piece by piece and really blended it. But, you guys can get the general idea of what she looks like. So we're getting near to the end of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. For any beginners, I would definitely tell you that these are the markers to get, especially if you are just starting off or you're looking for something that's inexpensive. I would definitely tell you to get these. I want to say thank you to Parkoo for sending these markers to me. And guys, this was an honest review. We are not sponsored just yet. We don't got it like that just yet. But this is an honest review and my honest opinions on how I feel about the markers. I do love them. I do wish that the top stayed on the bottom. That would probably be the only thing that I would say, because listen, these are inexpensive, and I don't believe that there should be a whole bunch of skin tone markers in them. Every set, it's not supposed to be made that way. So I would listen. I recommend them. Get them. I love them. I know I'll be using them in the future. And I want to say hello and welcome to all of my new subscribers. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. because you will just love me. Is all I can say. But anyway, just joking. I just welcome you all to the YouTube family. We are almost at 300. And for some, that may not be a lot, but for me, that is just everything. It is so exciting every time I get a new subscriber. And yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys know I'll be back with another one, and I will see you guys then.